inside. Oh, fire. Happy Hanukkah to everybody. It's a wonderful, joyous time of the season and year, and we really need to, between Thanksgiving and the New Year's, it really is a time to come together and reflect and really give gratitude to the world and to your friends and to your loved ones and to everybody that you hold dear in your heart, and even those that you don't know and you say a prayer for. I would like to say 2 special intention prayers for someone. Bruce, the gentleman that follows us, that I perform at his nursing home, he called me and asked me to say a special prayer for someone that he knows that is struggling. And when I was on my way here, I was stuck in traffic because there was a major accident and they were cutting someone out of a car on Route 208. And I really pray that everybody and everything is safe and healthy, and that, you know, that everybody is okay, because it was, it was traumatic. And I really want to say to everybody, don't text and drive. You can talk on your phone if you have those things that you don't have to do it, but don't text and drive, because you look down for 2 seconds and that could be the moment. And I don't know if that happened, but that's what came to me while I was passing them, saying I just pray that everything is okay. So you're in my prayers. I don't know who you are, but you're in our prayers today. So today, it's funny. A while ago, back in, I guess it was earlier in the year, really early in the year, we contacted my dear friend Karen Noe, and we said, Karen, we'd like to invite you on the show. And she wasn't booked. She was booked up until December. So we said, okay, we'll book you for December. So yesterday when I started figuring out what I was going to do with the show, through the week I process it and I think about it, I said, what an awesome time of year to have Karen on, because it's a time when we mourn and we reflect and we think about those that have passed. And Karen is here to tell us, and actually my whole guest and panel today is here to tell us that you don't have to miss them when they're on the other side, because you can communicate with them. So we're going to talk to Karen about how she communicates with them on the other side, and we're going to talk about a wonderful list of topics that Karen has really grown to be a tremendous world peace advocate and really a wonderful medium. But she does it with such grace and through the love of God. So I'm really honored to have known and connected with her, and I'll share with you later on how we connected. But before we get to that, we kind of slid someone into the show today, and that's another God message from me, because Karen actually asked me to do a little piece in her book one time, which I'll tell you about later on. But so did Ann, and now they're here both together, and I think it's only a God thing that they're here on the same time. So let's open up the panel. Let's open up the screen, if you don't mind. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Yay! I can't believe we're all together, but let me just, everybody knows Judy Marlowe. She's Judy Marlowe Ratway, and I always, after a year or so, I've been saying her name correctly. And of course, there's Karen Noe, my dear friend, Karen Noe. She's a medium and author of four books. It's going to be 5.
The next one's due out next month.
Wow,
I have to be finished with the next one.
Yes. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
And then we have Ann. Ann is just joined our family just recently. It's only been a few months.
Couple months.
But August was
the beginning.
The beginning that you guys had met, and tell us.
We met in July.
Okay, so I know. So let's backtrack a little bit, and what we're going to do is, just so everybody gets a gist of the show, is Ann's only here because I asked her to come because her book just came out, which is When God Nods. Can you can't stroll into that. Do you have the photo in there of when God nods? No, no, that's not it. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry
Whoops, you're
about it.
getting my stuff.
There it is. There it is. There it is. When God Nods. That's it. That's her new book. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I am so honored to be a part of that book. I'm so honored to, and we'll have you read a little segment that I quoted. But before we get to that, and then Ann's going to leave in a little bit, so we're just here for a few minutes to talk to Ann. So we just wanted to give you some recap on how we all came together. And Karen, you'll like this story because this is a God story. All my stories are God stories. But Judy, go ahead, say it.
All right, we were filming a July show. During filming of it, it was live, going out live, and Renee turns to me and says, you know, we should do a show about caregiving. Judy, you'll take care of that on August 20th when I'm out having knee surgery. And I thought about that the entire drive home. I said to Nancy, we're going to work on this together. And I was concerned about it. I came home. I wanted to relax for a few minutes, so I opened my mail. Then I opened the newspaper. And there it was. I believe the title was Joyful Journaling.
Journaling for the caregiver's spirit.
Right. And I
Which
said,
is-
oh my God, that's it. And I know the author. I know the person who wrote it, Maureen Rossi. But I have to wait till Monday because Maureen Rossi is not working on a Saturday. First thing Monday morning, I call Maureen up. I go, oh, it was a great article about caregiving, but I have to have Ann's phone number and contact information because I want to invite her to a show. Fast forward, we met at a diner, Ann and I, and we talked, and I interviewed her, and it was set for August 20th. On August 20th, everybody left for the studio, including Ann. I was just locking the door, actually, to leave because I'm probably the closest, and I heard the phone ringing, and I ran back, and Tommy was on the phone saying, there's no electricity in the studio, so you've got to tell everybody. And so we rescheduled Ann for, I believe it was September.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
September.
And that show was great because you got to meet Renee.
I got to meet Renee. Yeah.
That was the whole bottom line.
Yes.
Bottom line was that we were all supposed to
supposed
connect.
to, exactly.
We were all supposed to connect. And it blows me away how things happen. And of course we all connected and we became friends just like we're friends, and and we're all on the same journey together trying to just bring peace, hope, and love to the world. And so
I find it interesting that the power went out the day that I was supposed to be here the first time.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
just like, oh.
yeah.
It's the right day.
I said to the studio,
Has
I
all the
said,
plans.
somebody's got to put a note on the door because everybody was leaving. I said, leave a note on the door at least. I'm trying Ann and I can't reach her.
Yeah. It's incredible.
But it
It's
happened when it
incredible.
was supposed to, so
Yes,
it's
yes,
all good.
yes,
It's all
yes. And it
Perfect
was
divine order.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Exactly.
So
true.
we're very. I mean, you can get this book, and actually, I'm going to send a promo out through Facebook and Twitter and Constant Contact to purchase Karen's book because I'm in it as well. I'm in one of Karen's books, which is Your Life After Their Death. I think this is the one. Yeah,
Yes,
this is
I
this
think that's what
this
it
is the one. I have to. I think it's the one because I looked on my emails and this was the one that I gave permission to it. And we'll tell you later on in the show the story of how Karen was gracious enough to do my first book signing, and I got a message from my father that day.
Oh, my God.
So it was pretty incredible. And when I tell Karen, she's like, oh, perfect. I've been waiting for you to finish my book. And Ann said the same thing to me. So, but I'm going to do it because you can buy your book out of Amazon as well.
Sure, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Because if they purchase through Amazon, they can use our Amazon Smiles.
Oh, that,
Our foundation.
Yes.
And you're helping us as well as supporting their cause, and it's helping yourself too with the book because
Yes.
the books are so wonderful. Tell us a little bit about the book and what moved you
Yeah,
to
well,
write it?
the book When God Nods came about in another divine way. There was a writing class that I had wanted to take, and I was looking at the price, and I said, oh, okay, let me wait. I don't have the money right now to take the class. And then a couple of weeks later, I received an email from the publisher saying, you know, the class is going on sale, and I said, okay, the timing's not right. Another excuse. And I had spoken to her, and I said, look, if I pay you now, can I take this in January? And she said, absolutely, I'll honor it, you know, no problem. Something came over me, and just halfway through the class, I jumped on in. I caught up. I spent the entire weekend working on the class, caught up. At the end of the class, there was an offer to do a proposal. Now, the proposal was probably about 40 pages long, my proposal. You could win, potentially, a publishing package.
Oh.
And I was fortunate enough to win the publishing package.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then that's how When God Nods came about. And the funny thing is that my book was finished when I met Renee. It was done. It was ready to go. I just had to proofread, and then I met her, and I'm thinking to myself, should I ask her? Should I not ask her? I don't know, you know. And then I asked her, and there's one more chapter in there. Renee is in it.
beautiful.
So yeah, so that was totally
Beautiful.
meant to happen that way. Absolutely, yeah.
And it's
yeah.
wonderful. This is what I wrote on the promo. Why don't you read what I wrote on the promo?
When God nods, she had work to do physically and mentally as well as recover from aphasia. While other people may have become angered with God, not ReneMarie. She says to this day she trusts him. To the contrary, there was an inner voice that told her she needed to be doing something. That something was...
Left them hanging.
Cliffhanger!
Now you got to buy the book to find out what it was.
Yes, yeah.
But I tell you, you both have such different styles of writing, but they're so inviting, both of you. I mean, they're so, you know, when I listen to both of you write, it's almost like you're talking to us. It's the way you talk that you portray your writing in it. Yeah. It's really a gift.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, so we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna do a constant contact email blast. We're gonna post it on the website. How to buy all the books, and I always say when I finally get up keynote speaking and you know, to go on my path, I'm gonna have all of their books able to sell, so that we can all support each other in the in the world. You know.
Thank you.
So I really want to thank you, you know, both for you know inviting me to be a part of your books, and I just can't believe.
It was absolutely meant to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know you have to
Right
run.
back.
Yes.
Let's blow our kisses.
Because we always have to vote.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail center.
We're live. That was really wonderful for Ann to, you know, take the time to drop in, because we're really excited, and we are a big family, you know, and Madhouse TV has really gifted us with these platforms to really bring a wonderful array of people together in our lives. We've been doing this for 2.5 years, which is incredible. Okay, so enough about us and everything. We really want to focus on our special guest, Karen Noe. We're blessed to have Karen here at this particular time of year. So I want to open up the show, not the show, but I want to open up the video, the viewing, to talk to Karen about something that I know is near and dear to her heart. And actually, I had no idea. I just viewed Karen as world peace, and really to bring peace into everyone's lives. And so I want to talk to her about St. Francis, and then she's going to tell us what her next book is about.
Oh, good.
Okay, all right. So my St. Francis connection, about 20 years ago, I was going through a very difficult time in my life. And I sat at the edge of my bed, and I just started yelling at God. And I said, give me a sign to let me know that I'm going to be okay. And with that, I saw a light that came towards me from the other side of the room. And as it was coming towards me, I just said, if you're not of God, please leave. But the more I said that, the more it kept coming towards me. And eventually it enveloped me.
Wow.
An overwhelming sense of peace came over me, unlike I never felt like that before or after. And at that time, I heard an audible voice that said, Lucia Lucina, Bella Lucia Lucina. And for those who are Italian, it means light, little light, beautiful little light.
Oh.
Wow. See, I knew the story about how do you say that?
Lucha Lucina.
Lucha Lucina, but I didn't know St. Francis at the beginning of
Well,
it.
see, now this is the key. I didn't know what happened to me at that point. I started receiving messages from the angels and deceased loved ones after that time, and I asked who this was during meditation, my quiet time, and that's when I received the messages from St. Francis that it was indeed him. And if you notice, in all of my books, for those who read my books, I always incorporate peace
Yes.
and the animals in it.
Yes.
And on my Facebook
Yes.
pages, I always post the cute little
Yes.
animals and
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
So, and as of now, I am writing my next book. It's called "Will We Consciousness Becoming an Instrument of Peace?"
And
And,
Karen, that just floors me. Because I remember you invited me to sing "Let Me Be a Channel of Your Peace" at one of your events.
Many years ago.
Many
Yes,
years ago.
yes.
Many years ago. And when I sang it
That
on the
was
show,
for 9/11, right after 9/11.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And when I was doing the show, and I posted on Karen's Facebook page, because I knew, when I see you, I think of peace, and I know there's a lot of different techniques in mediumship. There's a lot of different techniques, but yours is through peace. It's just.
I think that what happened was I am thrilled to be a medium and connect with those who've passed and the angels, but I think my real purpose is to spread peace on this planet. And especially at this particular time, it's so important to focus on what we want instead of what we don't want. We focus on peace instead of what's wrong, you know?
Right.
And when we do that, focus on our many blessings and the love within us and the love within everybody. See through the other person's eyes where they're coming from instead of getting angry. Even if we don't agree with what's going on in the world, it's important to know that we all have the power to change the world. It doesn't matter who's in charge, who's the leader, it doesn't matter. Because we matter.
We can only. This is how I look at it. Like, I can't worry about what's going on in the world. I can't. I mean, I voted. I did my due diligence.
Yes.
But I have no. I can't take care of those pictures. So all I can do is worry about our world and our stroke and aphasia world and our language of love world, and that's where my focus is. And I said in the press piece that peace starts from within.
Absolutely.
Peace starts from within.
And if you're a person, you practice peace everywhere you go, you'll create peace around you.
Yes.
In your
Yes.
life and in the lives around you as well.
Yes.
So it's very important, especially on social media and Facebook. Instead of posting negative posts about what's going on in the world, this is so terrible, focus on what you want instead of what you don't want.
Yes.
Focus on the love and the blessings. There's so many.
Renee is full of peace. I'm telling you, everything she does.
I know.
But it's not easy. Karen, is it easy? It's not easy.
It's a way of living.
Yes.
That's the way I live.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not easy. It could
No.
be very difficult, but that's the way I choose to
Yeah.
live. And I think if that's so much more powerful than any
Yes,
weapon.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
But things that are worth it to you take dedication
time, absolutely.
and focus and
Well, my
stuff.
first, Wayne Dyer said this when he was the great author who died a few years ago, that if you cut open an orange, what are you going to get inside of the orange? It's going to be an orange. So
Right.
if somebody's angry, if somebody gets to you and they're yelling at you and screaming at you, if you don't have anger inside of you, it's not going to get to you.
Right.
You just
Right.
exude peace and love,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Right.
So
yeah.
whatever's inside of you is what you're going to extend to the world.
Yes.
And that's what's important. Focus on the love and the peace.
Yes. So we have to focus on the love and the peace. That's really our goal and
Yes.
objective. And just do it one day at a time. Don't try to think of what you're going to do tomorrow. Really focus on the here and now to try to create peace. I think Lynn Grabhorn said, "Fake it till you make it."
Exactly.
Fake it till you make it. If you're not feeling it, just fake it.
Just
Fake it till you
well,
make it.
And in the
That-
morning when you wake up, you say, how may I serve? How
Yes.
may I serve, God? How may I serve?
Yeah.
And then do whatever you're being told to do. And that's what you're doing, Renee.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
It's so funny. I was telling Ann when I was coming in, and this is a God thing. I was driving in, and I was on the Throg's Neck, and after seeing that accident, I was really in a praying mode.
Right.
And I was going over the Throg's Neck, and I heard ding, and I'm like,
Oh, what's that?
I don't know. So I look up, and I see I know, it cracks me up. I look in the sky, and I see clouds. They're not puffy clouds. They're like streaming clouds. And there's rainbows in those clouds. And then I hear, "You're anointed." And I'm like, what does that mean? So I
God
called,
has given you the power.
I called my friend Rosanna. I said, Rosanna, I got to tell you, because she understands this world. I said, what does that mean? She goes, well, it just means, God chose you to work for him. I said, I knew that.
You knew that all along.
God was reminding
But he was
you.
reminded, right? He said, you're on the right track, is what he was saying.
So it's funny you should bring in Wayne Dyer. And he's always been a wonderful leader for you. You met him a long time ago.
Well, I didn't know him personally. I went to many of his lectures and read his books, and I
I have
have
his
some.
motivational.
Yeah, he's wonderful.
Yes.
And then after he passed in August of 2 years ago, a year ago, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say it.
Yeah, and to make a long story short, as we would say, synchronistic events joined me with his family. I was scheduled to speak at an I Can Do It event in Florida a few weeks after he passed. I was in Orlando, and they were going to pay tribute to Wayne across the street from the hotel. So there was a bus transporting the authors that were going to speak, myself
Right.
included, from the hotel up to the conference center. And I'm sitting on the bus, and there was one seat available, and Serena Dyer, his daughter, sat next to me. So it began the whole
Wow.
series of events that eventually 3 of his children and his wife came to see me in New Jersey. They flew in from Florida.
Wow.
And
wow.
wonderful. He came through with wonderful messages that I don't want to share here because they were very personal. They knew without a doubt that no one would know, what the messages
Yeah, that was
as
my,
they were coming through.
That was my question. One of the questions that I wrote for today was, do you hear he connects with you?
So what happened after that event, I was so nervous. They scheduled an appointment with me. And I said, what did you do to me, Wayne? I'm so nervous. Suppose you don't come through. They're flying in from Florida. This is Wayne Dyer's family.
I know.
My hero.
I know.
So I said, are you kidding me? So I started going for walks. And as I was going on walks, he started coming through. And all he said right in the beginning, he said, get out of your own way.
Yes.
I could almost
that's so
Get out of your own way.
hear him say
Yes,
that because
very
I've
forcefully.
listened to a lot of his
Yeah.
tapes, and that's
But he
basically
pretty much
message
yelled
he
at me.
gives us.
Well, that's going to
Yeah.
be my next book, one of my books.
Get out
that
of your
I'm
next way?
No,
Are you
I need to get out of my own way.
Oh, that's funny.
yes,
That's funny.
yes. So go ahead.
So, long story short, he started coming through with messages, and I could tell you in a minute, a few of the messages that his children have shared on Facebook, so that's well known. But he connected with, he connected with a group of guides that I call my we guides now. He's one with all of them, including St. Francis,
Right.
because indeed we are all one. All of
Right.
us are interconnected.
Right.
It's not you and I and you.
Right.
It's
Right.
we are all one.
Right.
And they came through, it's called, my We Guides came through with 33 concepts of the We consciousness about creating peace on this planet.
Wow, that's
But-
where your book came from.
Yes.
And
Yes.
in my writings today, I said that I believe that you're one of Wayne's chosen.
Well, no,
people to
many,
be
one
his-
of many,
Right,
because
right.
I'm not the only one. I want to make that known.
No, I know. But I
that-
said one of
Yes.
his chosen to be the messenger for him to continue his work here on Earth.
Right. Well, there were many reasons. I asked, why am I one of your people that are able to hear you? And it's a number of reasons. He loved St. Francis, number one. And he loved, peace on earth. And I guess the fact that I don't think I have a big ego. I'm kind of like,
You don't have an
I don't
ego.
deserve it. I keep saying that I don't deserve
You
this.
don't have any ego.
And when he says, whenever I say that, he says, get out of your own way, all that. And
Yeah.
he knows
Because
I'm
we
trying
tend to
to best.
worry.
I'm trying to the best of my ability to bring the message across the way he's telling me, without interfering with that message.
And we
So that's
tend
great.
to worry about things.
Yes,
If you
yes.
have peace,
Mm-hmm.
it comes to you.
So as I said before, I could share a few of the messages he gave
Okay.
that
Give us a few.
Serena shared.
I actually wait before you do. There's a photo in the back room. There's 4 ladies.
It's for ladies.
4 ladies. You and Wayne Dyer's 2 children.
3 of them.
There's just 3.
Those are all of his children. The
Oh,
first one
really?
is Tracy on my left. Whoops, she's gone. Oh, there she
Yeah,
is.
there it is.
That's Tracy, his first daughter, and then let me say, oh, that's Anita Morjani. I'm sorry.
Yes, because I knew.
Great
yes,
author and sage.
Yes.
Yeah,
'Cause
I'm sorry
she,
about that.
I actually, she does a radio show.
Oh yeah, she's another Hay House author.
Yeah,
She
so I'm
wrote
going to
the
try
great
to hook
book,
up with her.
Dying to Be Me.
Before you tell us, how do I get hooked up with Hay House?
Hay House? Well, you have to contact them. You need an agent.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll talk about it after the
Okay.
show.
I'm like so excited. Yeah, tell us about Wayne Dyer's.
So a few of the things, if you know me, I'm kind of shy and
Yes.
everything, and as soon as they walked in, he was yelling, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up to them. Like, hurry up, hurry up. I'm like, I'm sorry, this isn't me. And they go, I know, that's exactly like my dad. And they were in the bathroom, and he's yelling, hurry up. And he was so excited to talk about the afterlife, and so excited. And he said, can I tell you, I just have so much to tell you about the weak consciousness and the afterlife, or would you like to hear personal messages? And they all said personal messages. So I said, all right. And I felt his energy go, because he was so excited about
He
the
really wanted to
vastness
share
of it all.
Yeah.
But he did say at that point, Serena was sitting there, and he did speak to all of them differently, just like he did when he was here on Earth. I spoke to, as he spoke through me, I spoke to Serena differently than he spoke to Sky, then he spoke to Sage and his wife. But he said to Serena that she's pregnant. She goes, oh, no, I'm not. I said, okay, but he's showing me the 4th of July, and I don't know what that means. She said, I just had a baby. I'm not pregnant. She went home, and she took a pregnancy test, and she was indeed in the family way, and she had the baby,
my God.
I think it was a day after 4th of July. And as a matter of fact, I was making dinner one evening in July, what was it? Yeah, an evening in July, I was making dinner, and all of a sudden, Wayne comes through, and he says, call Serena now. Right now, call her now. Right now, right now. I said, I'm making dinner. No, call her now. So I'm calling her, and she's not answering the phone, and so I call her sister, Sage, and I said, Sage, what's going on? She said, Serena is pushing the baby out right now. And he says, Daddy's here watching you. All is well.
Oh, God.
So those are the types of messages that I certainly wouldn't know.
Wow.
That's the type of message,
Wow.
yeah.
That's incredible.
So-
And that's just a validation that there is life after death.
Absolutely.
And this is really a wonderful time of year to have you as a guest, because nowadays people miss, during the holiday season, people really miss. So this is an important question. Like, how could we, what gift could we give to our audience to connect, to stop, to connect to their loved ones that are on the other side?
That's a very good question. First of all, your loved ones truly are okay, and they want us to know it as well. We can ask them to give us, I call them without a doubt signs, so that we know without a doubt that they're with us. And there's so many of those signs. All we need to do is ask them to come, and they'll be with us.
Oh, really?
So many times they come, it would be something that normally wouldn't happen. For example, if they like to come through as an animal, a bird, a ladybug, a butterfly, to let us know that they're with us. But it would do something that normally
I know this
the animal
will
wouldn't
sound
do.
silly, but I was going to a seminar where I was going to sell motivational books and tapes, and I needed to leave. Nobody else was home. Everybody was out, and I could not find my keys. And I started to panic, and I thought, if I don't find my keys in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to have to call up and say I can't make it, and that's going to be all kinds of problems. And then I said, okay, I'm going to calm down. God, I spoke to God, and then just in case, I also said, Mom, I'm in desperate need. Can you help me? Find me the keys right now. One of you, God or Mom.
Yeah.
And I found the keys
Exactly.
just like that.
That's wonderful. See, that's exactly, I always tell people, if it were reversed and we were in heaven and we could tell our loved ones that we were okay, would we do it? Of course we
Yes.
would.
Yeah.
So we're not bothering them. They're able to give us these signs. I have incredible stories of signs. You had a wonderful sign that I incorporated in your book. Would you like to talk about? I'm asking you, but it was a good one.
That was so, it was just, a divine intervention. Just perfect. I published my book, and I was just had it published, and I was doing my first book signing, and Karen was gracious enough to do it with me, because I never did a book signing before, and she's done 1,000. So I said, Karen, would you do it with me? She goes, yeah, of course, I'd love to do it with you. So that afternoon, I was getting dressed, and I was preparing myself, and I had everything. I had wine and cheese, me. I got to do everything a la carte, So I stopped by my dad's house, and his wife, Sonia, was there. And she goes, oh, by the way, I found a note, a letter from you to your father in his desk. So I go, oh, did you open it? No. I said, okay. So I open it up, and the first line is, I'm proud of you today.
That's something.
Oh, my
Isn't that
God.
something?
So, and
how long has your father been gone?
I think he was gone I think it was only a few months.
Okay.
Because as soon as my father left, now I connect with my father and I hear my father. So my father's like, okay, now you got to get the book done. You know, you got to do this, you got to do that. I want you to do this the same way as Wayne, you know. So it was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I did my book, and I had my book. And so I'm laughing. I'm like, you know, and I'm reading the whole thing. And I knew it was my father telling me he was proud of me accomplishing my book. Because I had my book written for years. I just didn't move forward and have it published.
Right.
So then I get to the bookstore and I see Karen. I say, Karen, you're gonna love this story, and because I knew she'd understand it. And I think it was there was a perfect timing because you were.
Absolutely. And then I said, oh, this would be great in my book. I'm
Yeah.
gonna, without a doubt, signs.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
ask you, Karen, can you be unresponsive? Like, I occasionally have seen my mom, not too much. I've seen my mom in a dream, but my dad a little bit more. But my
Okay.
husband says that he actually hears from my dad. Now, why can't I hear
Well,
from
maybe
both
that's
of
your
them?
way of receiving, their messages is in a dream. Everybody receives messages in a different way. So I tell people, most people expect to see an apparition of their loved one or to hear an audible voice, but in reality, they're spirit. Okay, so the best way that they come through to us is in a dream, with a sign, or things like that. And when I say, and they come to us as thoughts that just pop in our head for no reason.
Oh, I see.
So I know you're thinking
Like
you're-
the anointing, because
Well-
who would have ever? I mean, anointing. I never even think that
right,
word.
right, exactly, as what you said
Yeah.
today. In other words, something that pops in your head for no reason, you're thinking of your loved one anyway. So what you want to do is backtrack your thoughts. If you're thinking about your loved one, backtrack your thoughts. If there was an originating thought, that's you. But if it's them, they just pop in your head for no reason. I have a great story to share about my mom.
Yes, let's hear it.
After she passed, and I think it's a great time of year to talk about this one because it
Absolutely.
happened during Christmas time.
Oh,
A few years ago, my mom passed on January 3rd, but it was Christmas Eve. And
Oh.
7 of us were,
oh, that's terrible.
7 of us were around her bed. She was in hospice, and she woke up out of consciousness, and she said, Karen, I didn't give anybody a Christmas present. I feel so
And
badly.
she knew.
And I said, don't you worry about it, Mom. It doesn't matter. No, I want to give something. She said, Karen, do you have $7 bills? I said, I don't, but I asked everybody around, and everybody gave me some singles. And she said, thank you. And then she handed them to everyone there. She said, one for you, one for you, one for you. And she went around and gave everybody $1. And then she looked at me and she said, Karen, don't you worry about it. I'm going to pay you back. So I said, Mom, really? You don't have to pay me back. No, I'm going to pay you back. I said, okay, Mom, thank you, but you don't have to. Yes, I'm going to pay you back. Okay. So she passed on January 3rd, and a few days later, I went to my office. And as I walked into my office, I have 2 offices and then the waiting room. And I walked into my office, and there was a $1 bill in the waiting room on the floor. But I didn't think of it. I didn't understand what that was. I thought somebody lost $1.
Right.
So I picked it up, and I put it in my pocket. Then I went into the other office, and there's a $1 bill on the floor. And I picked it up, and I said, okay, I must be losing money. So I put it in my pocket. I said, something's going on. It didn't register in my head.
She had to keep doing it to make sure you got it.
Exactly. So then at the end of the day, I went to my car, and there was a $1 bill right by my car. And then I heard my mother's voice say, hi, sweetheart, I told you I would pay you back. Now, if I thought I made that up, a week later, a friend of mine, she gave me a shadow box with all pictures of my mom and everything. She had no idea about this $1 bill thing. She said, Karen, you are going to think I'm crazy, but I had to put a $1 bill in this thing. And I have since found $1 bills all over the place.
Oh my gosh. Oh my-
And I
still
say, Ma,
continuing?
you don't have to pay me back, but I'm so
You're
glad you
still-
are because that's my sign from her.
Karen, are you still getting $1
I
bills?
am,
Oh,
yeah.
my God.
All over the place.
That's
It's
almost
crazy.
like when my father passed. We were reuniting as a family, and we were by my sister's house one day, and we didn't plan this, but everybody started to come. So my sister and I are whipping together dinner, and we're all celebrating. We get done with dinner, and we get a knock on the door, and I hear in my head, order a pizza. That's what my father used to, after you were done eating.
Oh.
So who walks in? A guy next door with a pizza. He goes, I have some pizza. Do you want extra pizza?
Oh, my
And everybody's
goodness.
like,
Wow.
they're like, oh my God. I'm
That's
like, yeah, that's
something.
Daddy. Daddy's here. He's telling us that he's
That he's
enjoying that
absolute.
we're enjoying, each other's company and
Right.
how happy he is because he loved family and he wanted us to order a pizza. So he sent the pizza over.
He wanted you to know he was with you. Absolutely. That's awesome.
That's funny,
so
right?
Awesome.
That's funny. So, so now is an important time of year to know that you could really have a different form relationship with your loved ones.
Absolutely.
It's not so much we're here in our bodies, but they're around. They're
They can
around.
help,
Tell
they
me
can help us
again.
in ways they never could before.
Tell me again, Karen, the statement that you say to get them to come in.
Just ask them to give you I call it a without a doubt sign to let you know that they're
Okay.
with you. And you need to know, like, without a doubt. It has to be something, if I may, I could share another story.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to tell you something. I just want to add something to that. Is I find, and this is a get out of your way thing, this is in my book, is when you wait and you're looking around for you're not going to find it.
It won't.
You're not going to find it.
It happens when you least expect
Yes,
it.
yes.
Because
So
I'm
go
always
ahead.
It'll
saying, give me a
literally-
sign.
You
yes.
know, and you won't question if it's a sign or not. And that's why I wanted to share another story. These types of signs, without a doubt, it's a sign from your loved one. And they come through exactly in the personality that they had when they were here on earth. So if they were loud, they're still loud. If they were
Right.
quiet, they're
Right.
still quiet, and so forth.
Right.
I had a friend of mine, Marion, who was very loud and very sarcastic, very sarcastic. She played practical jokes all the time, and she was a very nice person. So what I did, and I would tell our listeners to do this as well, I wrote her a letter, a gratitude letter, how much I appreciated having her in my life and all the great things she did. She made the world a better place. And at the end of the letter, I said, and by the way, Marion, give me a without a doubt sign to let me know without a doubt that you have read what I just wrote to you. A few days later, I'm walking down my steps to my house. I have letters to go into the mailbox downstairs. And as I'm walking down the stairs, a bird is in my driveway screaming at the top of its lungs, screaming. And I don't want to scream on this microphone, but and I knew right away it was Marion. I said, oh my God, Marion, I love you so much. I'm crying. The bird followed me to the mailbox. Birds do not follow you anywhere. They fly
That's
away.
right.
Followed me to the mailbox, sat on the mailbox, looked at me right in my eye, and just kept screaming. I actually stayed that long. I picked out my cell phone, which was in my pocket, and I called my son, who was in the house, and I said, Tim, come outside. Marion's here. And he said, huh? I said, just come outside. Marion's here. And he came outside and witnessed the whole thing. 2 days later, a mutual friend of mine called me up, and she said, Karen, what the heck? Marion just gave me a sign. I know it was Marion. I said, what did she do to you? And I'll tell you what she did to me. And she said, I just painted my kitchen. I opened the sliding glass door. A bird flew into the kitchen,
Oh, my.
pooped all over my walls, and then flew out. And she said, thanks, Marion. She knew it was Marion.
Now you're reminding me about something. Because I was in the office writing, and something hit the window, the screen. And I looked up, and I have never seen a bird land on the screen and look right in at
Right.
me.
They usually fly away. Or
It just looked in at me, and then it, eventually it
as
flew
if to
away.
get your attention. And that's what
Yes,
I would say. These
but
kinds
I
of
didn't know.
signs, right, you would ask for somebody. When you ask for a sign, it would be something that normally wouldn't happen. Like if a car
Oh.
cuts you off, notice the license plate, it might be your loved one's name or birthday. Or
Well,
songs.
I got to tell you, when one day I was at work, and I have arguments with God too, because it's having a relationship.
You have
yes,
arguments?
Yes, absolutely. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Anyway, there was a guy I was interested in, and I didn't know which direction I should go. And I was driving down the highway, 208, and I said, you know what, God, I'm done. I am done. I need 2 signs, and I don't know why I thought about them, but I said, I need to see the Brady Bunch, and I need to see I Love Lucy.
Oh, my God.
And that's it. That's it. That's it. If I see both those
relax
signs,
you.
I'm going to know which direction, what I should do.
Oh,
So I forget about it. I go to work because I was working for Pumptonian Food Service, and I work, and And I go home that night, and my girlfriend Carmela calls me, and she's telling me about the Brady Bunch. I'm like, okay,
Oh, there you
Carmela,
go.
you could stop now. You did your God work. Da, da, da. So,
But it was really on TV?
well, she was telling me about the
Yeah,
Brady
she
Bunch.
spoke about it.
Right. So then, like the next one took a while to come, and I was in my office one day. Like when you're working, you're not thinking about anything.
No.
And I'm on the phone with somebody for work, and my driver pulls in, and he gives me a check because he wants to go on direct deposit. And I look on it, and I Love Lucy.
Oh,
And I'm like,
that?
I gotta go. And I hung up, and I'm like, you always win.
Yeah.
You always win. There's no way around
Beautiful.
it. You
Yeah.
always win. So it's wonderful. So we hope that everybody, connects.
Absolutely.
Take a few minutes during this time to really to stop. I think that's like the best thing
Go
is
within yourself. And I always tell people you need to quiet your thoughts in order to hear your loved ones or the
Yes.
angels. And by the way, angels and our loved ones, they're different. It's not the same thing.
tell us that. Tell us about that.
Our loved ones, when they come through, it's the same personality as they had when they were here, as I was stating about Marion. The angels, when they come through, is very loving. It's bigger.
Yeah.
It's just more, exudes so much love. Not that our loved ones don't, but it's just
More obvious?
yeah.
When I crossed over to the other side, it was, you didn't want to come back.
Yes.
There was so,
I've heard
you
that
were,
when I
you
read
were
books
just
about it.
engulfed in this pure love. And that's why I know that people kind of get aggravated with me and like, but I just want that pure love. I just know that it's like when you taste something that you like and you know it's there and you know the possibility of that pure love. And there's no standard that is less than that. And I know it's possible for us to love each other. I just know it, and I know that.
Absolutely.
I absolutely know that. So so I understand like the angels. It's just like this world of love and just light, and it's beautiful. It's
Absolutely.
absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Karen, on your Facebook page, you have "Be open to receive it, and you will." Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you just have to, if you put it out there that you set the intention that you want to receive messages, and then your loved ones will work in ways to conspire to make that happen. And be open. In other words, don't look for, like Renee said, don't look at every single car for a license plate, or you'll know when the sign comes to you. And when you're open to a sign, it'll come to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's very important.
Tell us a little
Set the
bit about your
intention.
Angel Quest radio.
Angel Quest Radio. Okay, it's the first Saturday of every month on WRCR.com. It used to be 1700 AM on the radio dial,
Right.
but now it's just internet.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Just changed.
That's the way everything is
Yeah.
going internet. That's why when we started doing this TV program, everybody's like, "Oh, internet, that's nothing." I'm like, "That's the way
It's
things are
everywhere,
going."
right. Yeah.
I mean,
Everybody's
it's,
on the intercom.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can only
Everybody's on
watch
the
a
internet.
Cablevision show one time and that's it. This you could see 24/7, 7 days a week.
Right.
Exactly.
We could do what we want with it. So,
Right.
At the time you want to see it, too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah, so it's at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, the first Saturday of every month. And you could follow all of my, you could get all of my old radio shows on my website, KarenNoe.com.
Great.
Now,
So
I
it's
gotta-
all about these types of topics.
I got
Okay.
it. Now you're gonna. This is another God thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tammy, that does Tammy. Let me see. From
Elevated Existence.
Assistance. You've had her on your show.
No, she's actually, that's an article on me. She came to a lot of my classes. She's going to be giving a class at my center. And she interviewed me for that article in Elevated Existence, where
Okay.
it says, as the Wayne Dyer daughters on there.
Yes.
That's Serena and Sage.
Okay. Now, do you know I'm related to her?
No. How do you know her? How do you know her?
My first cousin,
Funny.
my mother, my grandmother, my mother's brother,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
my mother's brother, Artie, which is Dio.
Okay.
His son,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yeah.
is married to Tammy's sister Gina.
Oh, funny. What a small world, you see?
When I saw that, I'm
What a
like,
small world.
I'm
That's
like-
that's crazy.
it's a God thing, and
Yeah.
that's a really example that we're all one.
Absolutely.
That we're all one.
Synchronistic events. She's a sweet person.
Yes, and I really admire her what she's created.
Oh,
She's created
absolutely.
this wonderful
Yeah.
I mean, it's an internet magazine. Am I correct?
No, it's also, you can have copies of the magazine. I have them in my waiting room. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful magazine.
Wow.
But it's also on the internet as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. Because I've seen
That's
on the
elevated
internet.
existence.
Yeah, they actually
Gotta
came.
check that
You know
out.
what? You know what? I don't think you know this,
Right.
but her daughter, her sister, Tammy's daughter Gina, came to our book signing.
Wait, say that again.
Tammy's sister,
Right.
Gina,
Yeah.
came to our book signing.
Oh, my goodness. Come on.
Yes, yes, with the mother-in-law, which is my aunt Barbara.
That's such a
They
small
ca-
world.
I'm just
That's
telling you.
really
So
interesting.
it cracks me up the way the world turns, and you know,
Yeah.
we're all connected.
Very
we're all
funny.
connected. So we only have a few minutes because I'm going to sing, because I love to sing and I love to bring joy through music. That's why our foundation is called the Language of Love, because music is a language of love. We're having our telethon April 9th,
Okay.
our third annual telethon. I can't, Karen, it's the
I can't
third
believe
one.
that. Right.
And it's
You've got to
gonna-
come.
You should come.
Okay,
We're gonna do it. We're gonna be officially announcing it next week. But the Madhouse TV has purchased a cafe. It's called Mousetrap Cafe. If you look on the internet, on Facebook, it's beautiful. A beautiful venue. We're gonna have an open door policy for everybody. It's gonna be a live telethon.
Oh, wonderful.
It's gonna be phenomenal. It's
And all the
gonna be-
details are on the internet?
I haven't posted it yet
Okay.
because it's in April this year, and I didn't want to do it too soon, and I
Right.
didn't want to. But I mean, we've been posting that it's April 9th because it's always Palm Sunday. It's
Okay.
always Palm Sunday for us. So, but before we go, while I'm getting my mic, is there anything that you want to share with the universe, with your fellow friends?
Spread the love. Spread the love. Spread peace.
Talk about your book for one
Talk
second.
about my book.
Your new book.
Oh, okay. So it's coming out. Well, it's due. I have to finish it by next month. And, you know, this
Okay.
time of year is a little difficult, but I'm not going to say it's difficult because I don't want to say anything
No.
negative. So I will finish it next month. Can't wait for it to come out with Hey Alice by the end of the year.
Okay. Can I hear the mic? I don't hear this mic though. Okay. All right. We just want to make sure we have this song. So Karen, it's always a blessing.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
It's always a blessing to.
It's a real pleasure to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Thank you.
And Judy, you're just a gift. You're a gift to our universe. You're a gift to me and to the foundation and to everybody around. She really works very, very, very hard at everything and everything she does. So
Thank you.
I'm going to sing a little Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Testing, 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 testing. Okay, here we go. Christmas future is far away. Christmas past is past. Christmas present is here to stay, bringing joy that will last. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of the old. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. years we all will be together. If the fates allow, hang a shining star upon the high, yes, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Can you open up the screen, Vicki? God bless everybody. Have a wonderful day, Karen. Thank you so much. You're a blessing. Judy, you're always a blessing. And everyone in the world, have a wonderful holiday. Please let us know how you're doing. We care. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Can you open up the window? Through the years, we all will be together. If the fates allow, hang a shining star upon the high, yes, and have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Let's blow our kisses. God bless everybody.